everybody, it's Wendy, and today I am filming my video for the Awesome Jewelry Challenge for February. So February's challenge is red or pink for the color, silver, rose gold for the metal and earrings or a keychain, and the theme or fun element is hearts and love. So what we are going to do is a little wire wrapping. I know you guys are shocked because normally I hate wire wrapping, but we're going to give it a try today, okay? So I think I have a cute idea and I think I can make it work, even though it's wire wrapping. So I got these frames, these little heart frames on Amazon, and they came in a big package. There were this size, you had three different container or different packages of this bigger size, and then this middle size you had one, and the small size you had one. So I thought these were really, really cute, and I wanted to attempt to wire wrap an earring with them, okay, to make an earring. So I've got some really pretty beads. I've got some half silver plated, what that is in there, rondelles here. I've got some tiny little spinel beads and some white rondelles. I've got some AB, just red rondelles. I've got some pretty red fire polish, 4mm, and some silver spacer beads. Now these are up on my website. They're new. They're tiny. They're like 3mm. Okay, so we're going to attempt to do some wire wrapping. So I've got a fishhook ear wire. I've got a few oval jump rings, and these are on my website as well. And the reason I like these oval jump rings is the opening is here on the side, so when it hangs, gravity's going to pull it to where the opening will be always on the side, and there's just less chance of your jump ring opening up and your jewelry coming apart. So I really like that about the oval jump rings, and I just actually stocked them on my website if you're interested in those. And then I've got 32 gauge wire here. It's very, very thin, just silver wire, and that's what we're going to use to do our wire wrapping. I've got some head pins, and I've got my jewelry pliers, my cutters, round nose, flat nose, and tweezer nose. And these are Xuron pliers. If anybody's interested, they're on Amazon. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little round frame here, and I'm going to create a little loop that I can hang my fishhook ear wire on. So I'm going to take my wire, and I'm just going to kind of lay it across right here, and then I'm just going to start wrapping, and I'm going to make 2 or 3 little wraps just to secure it on, and then I'm going to create a loop that I can hang my fishhook from. So let's go ahead and do this. So this jewelry challenge is actually hosted by Angela from Pirate Pretties Jewelry, and I will link, there are 5 of us doing this jewelry challenge, 5 different YouTubers. We all have channels, and I will link all their channels below so that you can check them out as well and see what they're doing. And if you want to participate in the challenge with us, that's awesome. I have a Facebook page, and you can post your pictures on my Facebook page. Actually, somebody's already posted one. They were on their game this month. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Okay, so I've got 3 little wraps here. I'm going to scoot them down to where they're right here at the middle. And then I've got this other little, my end piece sticking out here, and just leave it for a while. You can take your plier if you want and kind of pull it tight, this little end piece that's sticking out, and just wrap it around a little bit. It just needs to be out of the way for a second where it's not going to poke you. Okay, so here we have a few little wraps. I'm just moving them together with my fingernail so they're kind of compact. Now I'm going to take my plier, and I'm going to do just like I was going to make a regular wrapped loop. So I want this scooted down here, and it'll float for a minute, and that's okay. Just let it do its thing. So I'm going to make a little bend in the wire, and then I'm going to take my round nose plier here, and I'm just going to create a little loop. I'm going to go wrap all the way around the plier like this, to where I just have this little loop right here, okay? Then I'm going to take my chain nose plier and I'm going to take my wire and I'm just going to do a couple of wraps to secure the loop, just so it won't come undone. Okay, and there it is. Now I'm just going to leave it right here. That's all I'm going to do with it. And I'm going to take my wire and do a couple more wraps just to secure the wire back to the frame. And this'll migrate around a little bit. That's okay. We'll adjust it all here in a minute and get it exactly where we want it. Right now I'm just trying to secure it. So I'm just going through here a couple times. Whoops. Don't want to do it that way. Okay. And one more. And then I'll bend that little loop up where I want it. We're going to start adding some beads in here. Okay. Now, one thing you want to try not to do is kink your wire like I just did right there. Okay. So we've got this little loop. I'm taking it over here to the middle and securing it. That's where I want it to be. I'm going to go through this frame one more time from the inside out. And I'm going to start adding some beads. Now your little loop will migrate around. That's okay. Just let it do its thing for now. We'll fix it in a minute. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and start adding, and I think I'm going to start with this little rondelle bead right here. It's not the smallest and it's not the biggest. It's kind of a medium size one, and I do have my glasses on, so hopefully I'll be able to see to pick these up. And get them on the wire because they're tiny. All of them are tiny. The spinel beads are really tiny, but okay, there we go. We're just going to scoot it all the way down to the frame. And I want it to kind of sit in the front here, so it's a little fiddly at first until you get started. I'm just going to make sure my loop is still sitting where I want it to be. I'm going to put this bead right here and kind of hold it with my thumb. With my nail there, or my thumb, maybe, if it'll let me. There we go. And then I'm just going to wrap. Okay, go through the frame. And I probably have a little bit more wire than what is easy to work with, but like I said, I'm not the best at wire wrapping anyway, so I just figured I better start with quite a bit so I don't end up having to add a bunch. All right. And I'm going to go through one more time to push this out to the front, this wire out to the front. And I kinked it again, which you don't want to do if you can keep from it because it makes it hard to get your beads on. Okay, now my little loop has fallen underneath, so I'm just going to scoot him up here. Try to keep it where I want it to be. And my little bead's on there, and I'm going to add another bead. So I think I'll do one of these white ones. Take it all the way down. Just like that. Hold it with your nail if you need to. And just wrap. And it is fine for the wire to show and be kind of messy. I think that makes this cuter. This particular project that you're doing. Normally, I'm not a big fan of that look, but in this, I think it adds to it. I think it makes it look cute. I'm going in between my beads with my wire, and I'm going to go back through from the back to the front, just like that. Now I'm going to go again, I'm going to wrap around, and I'm going to go on the other side of the white bead that I just added from the back to the front, just like that. And we got two little beads on there, and when you scoot the loop up, may have to play with that loop a little bit at the end, but okay. And now I'm going to add on, I think, one of these tiny little spinel beads, if I can find the hole. They're so teeny tiny, but they're so pretty and sparkly. I've got beads going everywhere here. Okay, just going to set it right in there and wrap. Come from the back to the front. Try not to kink up your wire. That's the hardest thing. for me, I think, is not getting little kinks in the wire. Okay, and just wrap between the beads and go from the back through to the front again. Okay, so we've got the little spinel bead on, and I've just wrapped a couple of times around, and I just keep shoving these because I want them to lay to where they're kind of facing forward, and they keep wanting to rotate to the back, so I'm just kind of pushing them back where I want them to go each time. Going through here with the wire, and just push those back. I'm going to add on a silver spacer bead. You can do these in any order you want, obviously. Any way you want to do them is fine. It's totally your creative control. Okay, and I'm just going to push him where I want him to go and wrap, come through from the back to the front. You always want to come through from the back to the front to start your next bead. So like this one, this little spacer, I will wrap a couple of times just to secure him, you know. I'll go around, I went once already, I'll go one more time. Push those wraps up. Now he's where I want him to be, so I'm going to add another one. I'm going to go ahead and add one of these bigger silver ones. Put it down to my work and just wrap. And this is totally, it's a very forgiving project. You don't have to do it neatly. I mean, it's just, they just need to go on there, and they're going to look really cute when you're finished. Even if they're messy, they're going to look cute. That's kind of the look that we're going for. So just secure them on wherever you want them to go. Go from the back to the front and try not to kink up your wire like I keep doing. That's the hardest thing for me. Okay, and I'm going to add a fire polish bead on. So I'm working up kind of from the small ones to the big one, and then I will go back down. I don't want to do all big ones in one spot. I want to kind of vary them. So let's stick this fire polish one on here, and I'm going to put it kind of, I'm just going to try to situate it right there underneath the silver one. Go from the back to the front. Just like that. And I'm going to do another wrap. Just like that. And see how it's just starting to kind of come together. They're all kind of messy, and you can see the wire, and I like that on this project. I kind of want this guy to sit up front a little bit more. He's not going to, though, so we'll just have to. And I think I'll go ahead and add maybe another one of these red ones right here. Oops. Okay. And you can actually go in between your beads again. Like, see, I need to make sure that that's around there on the front, but once I get it secured, I can kind of go in between some of these other beads to kind of hold it in place where I want it to go. Okay, flip it around to the front if I want. And actually, I'm going to add another fire polish bead right here because I don't like the way that that one, it keeps sliding to the back. So I'm just going to put another one even on top of it. There we go. Go from the back to the front. And wrap again to secure it. Okay, now I'm just going to wrap again because I need to come down. I'm kind of up here. I need to come down in between these two beads right here. And I'm going to come back from the back to the front. And that puts me right back here at the bottom. Set this back up there. I like the way it's looking though. It's really cute. Okay, I think I'll add a white bead. Okay. So right here is pretty perfect. That's where I want it to go. I think Chris just set off the car alarm if you're hearing the car horn out there. Okay, now I've got to figure out, because I want to attach my next heart right around in here somewhere. I'm going to want it to sit just side by side with this one right here, but I've still got a little ways to go. So let's do a bigger silver bead. Now I'm just going to add on a few more beads just like I've been doing until I get down to right around here in the bottom area, and you guys do the same and we'll come back. Okay, so I've added on a few more beads and this is what I've got so far. Now I'm wanting to align my next little heart right here. So I'm just going to take it and set it right where I want it to go. I've got my wire coming from the back to the front and I'm going to put it right through this heart. And we're just going to attach these two together. Oops. If I can get my... Sometimes it's helpful to take your pliers and kind of pull. Okay. And this is a little fiddly, but just wrap several times, 3 or 4 times until you get the heart just sitting where you need it to go. Try not to kink up your wire, because that's the trouble spot with me. Okay, so I'm just going to go around a couple of times because this is where I want it to be. There we go. And one more time through, and then I'll add on a bead. I just want to get it to where it's pretty secure sitting there. Okay, now I'm going to add on probably one of these red beads right here. I don't want to do a real big one right at this joining point yet because I don't know why. I just feel like that I ought to use a small one there. Okay, then I'm going to go back underneath and back through up from the back to the front of both pieces, securing them together. I'm going to add a silver spacer. I haven't used one of those for a while, so let's put one on. Okay, and again, just going from the back to the front. You can even go up around the bead that you just put on. That might be what I do here. Let me look and see. Yeah, I'm just going to go around the top of the red bead that I just put on, and that really kind of secured it on there well. So I'm going to put a little spinel bead right here. And again, it's just your creative control. You kind of have to see how the wire lays when you put it on, and just, adjust accordingly. Put in small beads where you might have a small spot that needs one, like right here. If you can see, that little spinel bead's going to fit in there really well. So I'm going to go back through, secure him where he needs to be, and then I'm going to come back up through from the back to the front, tighten him down. I've kind of got him looped around. I don't want him looped around that spacer bead. There we go, just like that. So there it is, and now I've secured on my second heart. Now I'm just going to wrap another loop through here, just like this. Whoops. Come from the back to the front. Put him how I want him to go, and now I'm just going to continue wrapping all the way down to the bottom of this one. Okay, so you do yours too, and then meet me back. Okay, so I'm down to the bottom of my second heart, and I thought about putting on this third heart, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think I like it better just with these two, and then I'm going to put a dangle on the bottom, a little heart dangle. So I'm just securing this wire. And you just want to take your wire, go around several times, just secure it to your frame. You know, make a few loops here from the front to the back, all the way around the frame. And then I'm just going to cut it and tuck it to make sure that it's not poking out and won't scratch anybody. But I've gone in and out kind of between the beads and, you know, just made sure that it's pulled tight and it's not going to unravel. And I'm just going to take this through, you know, 3 or 4 times around the frame like this. And let's go one more time, and then I'm going to tuck it in. Okay, just like this. One more time. All right, now I'm just going to cut it back here. And just, whoa, there is a little sharp edge there. So you want to tuck that in so you don't have your sharp edge hurting anybody. Okay, and there's what we've got. Really, really cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my ear wire on. My loop's up here. I'm just going to put my ear wire on here. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this little heart right here. And I think what I'm going to do with him is I am going to use, let me see if that'll fit in there. I wanted to kind of put that little bead inside. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but let's just see. So if I put this on here and I create a little loop, this is just a little glass heart bead. I'm going to make a very small loop. I don't want a very big one. And I'm going to wrap it. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do a wrap loop because that's going to make it even bigger. And I do not want it to be real big. I want it to be smaller. So let me just stick it on a head pin here and just make a regular loop. I think that'll be better. The wrap loop would have kind of tied in with everything else, but I don't want it to hang that low. Okay, so I'm just going to make this loop right here. Okay, now let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will or not, but I thought about taking this jump ring I'm going to hook this on here, and hook this on here, and hook this on here. Whoops. Hook this on here, and hook this on here. Let's see what it does. My hands are shaky, and I don't know why. Okay. And it kind of hangs that heart sideways on there. Get my little fish hook twisted around here, right? There we go. I kind of like it though. It just kind of puts that heart as a little frame in the background and hangs that one right there down from it. Now, if you wanted, you could actually leave that heart off and just do the dangle. So, I don't know. Yeah, this little heart, he may flop around quite a bit, so I don't know. You could leave him off, but I kind of like him on there, actually. So there is our little heart earring, wire wrapped heart earring, and I really do like the way these turn out. I think they're really cute. Yeah, they are. You could even make a link. Like, let me show you what this would look like without the heart frame behind it. Let me just undo it and I'll show you. I mean, it might be cuter without it. So if we didn't want the heart frame, we could just hang this little dangle right like that. And that's cute as well, you know, either way. It's really kind of cute either way. This will flip around a little bit. It's AB on one side, it's not on the other. But yeah, so there is our little heart earring, and I gotta say, I really like the way these turn out. I think they're really cute. I did another one with 3. This is it. 1, 2, 3 earlier. So you can do it either way. I will put the link to these little hearts that I ordered off of Amazon in the description box below, as well as the link to all the other girls' YouTube pages or YouTube channels that are doing this challenge. So you guys get on there and check them out, subscribe to them, give them a little love. And yeah, so this is my January 2021 awesome jewelry challenge project, and I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.